Godzilla of these favelas. New car, flop, flop. Won't you follow me into the jungle?
Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Jason, aka JaseDBZ, and this is a brand new Pokemon tutorial on electric type Pokemon. What I'm going to be going over in this video is the pros and cons of electric type Pokemon, the natures and EVs that you should have on them and should be training, my favourite electric Pokemon, as well as my top 5, and what type I'll be covering next in the next tutorial. So right away I want to go straight on to the pros and cons of attack and defense on electric Pokemon. Now, electric moves are super effective against water and flying. This is very good because a lot of people use water Pokemon in their team. I don't think many people don't use water Pokemon. And flying, if anyone's using the legendary birds, then you know electric is going to help you a lot. The cons of using electric Pokemon, well, electric moves, are they're not very effective against electric Pokemon themselves, grass Pokemon, and dragon. So that is the cons. And also they have zero effect on ground Pokemon, which is a bit of a bad thing, but you know, not many people run ground Pokemon except maybe Groudon, or maybe can't even think exactly. No one even really uses ground Pokemon. Swampert, maybe? That's maybe one of the people I can think of just now. The pros and cons for the defense. Electric, flying, and steel are not very effective on electric Pokemon, so that's really good because someone's using electric Pokemon against you, or a flying, which they're more likely to use, as well as steel, so that's a good effect. And obviously the con is their ground moves are super effective against electric. Now, where they actually rank on the stats on average, they are 15th for HP, which isn't great. Their physical attack, they are 15th. Their physical defense is 14th. Their special attack is 4th. Their special defense is 7th, and their speed is 2nd, and they're only 2nd on speed to flying Pokemon. So the reason I like electric type Pokemon the most, they're actually my favourite type, that's why I thought I would cover them right away, is one, Jolteon is my favourite Pokemon of all time, and he's electric, so that's one good way. And also because they are very powerful in speed, physical, special attack, and they have good special defense for the most part. Now, they don't all have good speed, but most of them do. That's why they're the second on average speed. I would believe they would be first if it wasn't Pokemon can be there, like Magnezone being a slow one and Ampharos isn't quick. But considering Electrode is base stats the highest non-legendary Pokemon in the game, and except for Ninjask, who isn't actually in Pokemon just now, well, Pixelmon, so he is the fastest, but he isn't that very good. He's just fast, that's about it. So what nature should you consider when getting electric Pokemon? You want to have a neutral nature, such as they are bashful, docile, quirky, serious, and hardy. Yeah, I usually forget one, but I actually managed to get there. Holy shit. Another one is timid because it is increased speed, so you're getting that 10% increase on speed, but you're getting a 10% decrease on physical attack, and considering the best moves for electric Pokemon are special, then you're going to have no problem, because unless you use Wild Charge, you're fine. There's other moves that you can have, but they're not the best. We'll go over my top 5, and they're in order on the left hand side, from bottom being 5th to top being number 1. We'll go them in order and why they are in the order they are. So right away we've got Galvantula. He is he backwards right now? Or does he just look yeah, he's backwards, he just looks funny. He is a Arachnid, I'm guessing, type Pokemon, by the name. like a tarantula. He's a bug electric, which is good and bad. So he's got a good special attack, and I believe he's got quite decent speed. But having the dual typing of electric and bug, he has pros and cons. So yes, he has the electric ability and he has the bug ability to take out psychics and dark Pokemon and I believe ghost, or I always get them three confused. But he is also more vulnerable to a lot of things as well. So fire Pokemon are going to have an effect on him. That's a big thing, as obviously bugs are weak to flying. And then him being electric and bug, flying Pokemon are super effective against bug, but they're not very effective against electric, so that will neutralize it. But even then, I don't really like the guy that much. I used him before. I have one like level 70 or something in my PC on my server. I just don't like him. I don't think he's very effective, so that's why he's number 5. Moving on to Magnezone, he's my number 4 to use. He is of course electric steel. Yet again, he is very slow, which is what puts me off. So he's slow, he's got good special attack, special defense, but his speed is just not good. He does have obviously steel as a dual typing, which is effective, but I just really don't think he's that good simply because he's slow. And if I'm using electric Pokemon, it's for the power to hit first and having a powerful attack, and if he's slow and hitting second when he's electric, that's not so good, because he does have, most Pokemon do have low physical defense if you're electric. So he does have good moves like Gyro Ball and other steel moves, but I just don't rate him that much. Whenever I've used him, he just gets pretty much killed. Taking him away, Electivire. Electivire is a very strong electric Pokemon. He's not the fastest out of the lot, but he is very good with special attack, special defense, learns good moves, you know, like fighting moves as well as electric moves. He can learn Flamethrower by TM, which is very, very good. And he is a very good Pokemon. I just don't think he's, you know, top 2. So yeah, it all depends on the style that you play on, but I just like the super speed, super attack, or special attack. They're the things I go for, and he is very good. But moving on to my second Pokemon, who was hard to put second because he is my favourite Pokemon, but number 1 is number 1 for a reason. Jolteon, of course, stupidly fast. He is the fastest Pokemon on the server. On my server, the one I have has got like a speed of 358. I could get it faster, but I messed up training my EVs when I was new to the game. But he's got very good moves. He can learn a lot of different sets because he has an evolution. What I use for my Pokemon on my Jolteon is I use a Thunderbolt, so it's 100% going to hit usually, unless they're ground obviously. Thunder, depending on the Pokemon, if I want to take them out in one hit or if I'm going to risk it, depends on the accuracy, because obviously it's not 100% accuracy with that, but it's obviously the most powerful electric move apart from Zapcan. They're both on par, but Zapcan never hits, I don't know why. I also use Shadow Ball, and I've also got Volt Switch, because I feel when a lot of people have Earthquake, like talk to their Pokemon, and he's obviously weak to physical attack, so his physical defense isn't very good. So when people use Earthquake, they're going to probably kill my Jolteon, so I always switch out. So Volt Switch, I'll hit the Pokemon if they're not ground. If they're like, you know, Snorlax or Genghis-Khan or someone like that using Earthquake, I can hit because of my speed and I can switch to another Pokemon. So it is a very good strategy to use. So yeah, he's my favourite Pokemon as well. Very, very good. I would highly recommend him, along with Electivire as well. And of course, top spot, without even having to say anything, is Zapdos. Of course he is. He's a legendary. He automatically gets good base stats. He's the highest base stats you can get as a legendary Pokemon, and he is one. His special attack is stupidly high, special defense stupidly high, without even EV training, and along with his speed, they're all very, very good. He even had a decent physical attack, physical defense, and he has a good HP level as well. So he is a very strong Pokemon. It is the strongest electric Pokemon in my opinion. I have him in my main team along with Jolteon. I switch him in and out depending on who I'm battling. But yeah, he is the best electric Pokemon in Pixelmon. This isn't obviously just Pokemon, this is specifically on the Pokemon that are in Pixelmon. He might not be the strongest Pokemon electric division altogether in Pokemon, but in Pixelmon, in my opinion, and proven with being unbeaten in my server with over 90 battles, he is the best for electric. So what TM should you teach your electric Pokemon? Now if we go into this one here, these are your special TMs for electric, these are your physicals, so make sure you train in special attack, and these are the ones in order of how good they are. Thunder, because it's most powerful, but not the best accuracy, so that's why Thunderbolt is just behind it with a 95. So this is 120 power, 95. Then you've got Volt Switch, which is the one when you hit, you can switch to someone in your party, so it's very good to use. So that is a 70, but it's very strong. Whereas Thunder Wave, very good for, you know, disabling the guy, paralyzing, and Charge being pretty crap. I don't use that. I don't use Wild Charge either, but that's your only physical TM that you can teach. Now to get Zapdos, you have to find one of these shrines. They're found in the Savannah biomes. What you need to do to get actual Zapdos is you have to get an orb, which comes from a boss drop, or you can buy it on your server from someone, or if your shop sells them. You need to find 9 Thunderstone shards, create a Thunderstone. You then have to craft a orb with a Thunderstone, and that gives you a orb of Static Souls. Once you have this, you have to get 375 kills. That will fill the orb. So once you place it in the shrine over here, that will give you your Zapdos. It will come up, you just throw your Pokeball, battle it, and that's how you're going to get Zapdos. I would suggest a Master Ball with all the legendary birds, or any legendaries. I was lucky yesterday, I caught my 18th legendary bird. I caught 2 more today on my server. I managed to catch it with 3 Ultra Balls, but you know, it's very rare to do. You will get frustrated, you'll waste like 20, 30 Ultra Balls, so you might as well use a Master Ball if you have one spare. When it comes to training for the EVs, which are obviously very, very important, as I explained in my previous video, you want to be using, not these because they're for battling, you want to be using, what do you call it, these things over here. These are what you hold to boost your stats. You want your Power Anklet, that'll give you 4+ EVs in speed, so that's what you need to use for electric Pokemon, because that's what they're best at. And you want to be using Power Lens as well, so you want to max out on both these, and whatever you've got left on EVs, remember to train on kill on certain Pokemon for each one, as I explained in my EVs tutorial. These are definitely very important. Then it's up to you whether you go for training your special defense or your HP, or you can even train in your physical attack, which is, I wouldn't say, very useful unless you're using Magnezone or Electivire using a fighting type move. Or you can train in special defense, regular defense, either one of those two, but they're not going to get very high, they're kind of pointless. But you know, definitely train for speed, power attack, and I would even say HP, just because they don't have very high on HP. When you're actually battling, you want your Pokemon to be holding either a Choice Specs, a Metronome, a Choice Scarf, or even a Wide Lens, which I haven't put here. This will obviously give you a 50% increase in your special attack. The only thing is, whatever move you choose, you cannot switch. It will highlight that move for the next turns until you switch Pokemon or die. So Choice Specs, use it wisely. If you're going to put it on to say a Zapdos, and you're going to use Thunder, and you're attacking a Pokemon, if they use a Groudon or someone who cannot be hit by Thunder, then you're going to have to switch. So it's a risky, but it will pay off, because it is going to give you that extra. Same with Choice Scarf, it will increase your speed, so if you are using like a Magnezone or Electivire who aren't overly fast for electric Pokemon, definitely use this. And also Metronome gives you that 20% increase. For each time you keep using the same move, it will go up. So the first time you use a move, you'll have 120 damage, 120% damage, so that's an extra 20%, then 140%, 160, 180, then 200% max, so you're doubling up your power. So that only works if you're using the same move over and over again. So like I said, with Zapdos using Thunder, you can keep using Thunder. You can switch moves, which is good. You don't have to keep using it. Then Wide Lens for obviously moves that don't hit. So if you want Thunder to hit every time, use a Wide Lens or other moves that you're going to have on your Pokemon. So I know this would be a decently long video, but hopefully you've learned a lot from watching this, and I've explained why you should have electric Pokemon on your team. Obviously not everyone should, maybe you don't fit your style of play, but for me, without a doubt it is. I even sometimes use 2 with Jolteon and Zapdos. And yeah, it's definitely a very powerful Pokemon. It's more of an attacking Pokemon, so they're not the best defense, but you're using them to pretty much get the first hit and make sure that hit is very, very powerful. That's the whole point of them. So the next type that I'm going to cover either at the weekend or next week will be the normal type Pokemon. And the reason for that is because a lot of people underestimate normal Pokemon, and I'll explain why in the next video. So hopefully you've enjoyed this. Please like, favourite, comment and subscribe, and there'll be plenty more videos to come in the future. See you later.